It all started with a feeling. It all started with a feeling. It all started with a feeling.
Touch me like you want me. Don't wanna forget what you feel like on my body. Touch me like you want me. Don't wanna forget what you feel like on my body.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the coffee stream. Today I am joined by Dareinger.
And that's why you need to put butter on the toast before you put the cheese on it.
Yeah, but a point. And Serafin, the Midnight Bard.
My name is Bardzula, the Mike Rula, the old schooler.
Shaka Zula.
How long were you thinking of that?
I thought about it days ago.
I was going to say at least 30 seconds in advance.
A lot of times whenever you hear me make a joke, it's been simmering in the chamber for a while, and this is just the right opportunity.
It's that meme of the guy like holding on to his desk, like sweating profusely, just
Yes.
waiting for the moment to say your joke.
Yes, exactly.
The votes are now coming in, so I made a poll on what we'll be talking about today. Yu-Gi-Oh!, cryptids, how to get the best grilled cheese, and all the nerdy stuff.
I may have influenced the vote a little bit with my opening statement.
It's
didn't know that there was
50-50.
I didn't know that there was a poll.
Mm-hmm.
I will break that tie. Where's that poll at?
It should be up top. I made it 2 hours ago. I made it when I put the stream up. So good morning, September Dragon Audio, Onyx Vale, it's been a while since I've seen you. Dark Little Voices, good morning. Helix, who might have been an alarm clock this morning. Miss Creepy Tales, good evening for you. Hello, good morning, General, and that is everyone. Good morning, everyone. Is the best is how to make the best grilled. Nope, they're still tied. Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh has now gotten a vote.
I'm gonna
That wasn't
break
me.
the tie. Oh, I was like, I'm gonna break the tie. Any vote for Yu-Gi-Oh?
I thought it was fitting since I was like, it was even you guys were joking about the whole like you know what trouble you got in because you have both of us on. I'm like, I know exactly what I got in. I knew exactly what was game when I got Miss Creepy Tales and Lace Bucaria on. I knew what I was in for.
Welcome to a very special Saturday edition of the Nevermore Nerds. I'm Dareinger, and as always, I'm joined with my friend, the Midnight Bard,
It is I.
and today's guest is 242 Reads.
That's
Welcome,
right.
242.
She just
Today we're going to be talking about crime.
I've been listening
What's
to a
your
lot
favorite
of
crime?
I've been listening to a lot of crime podcasts lately. So
You know, here's a weird thing that I don't know why I thought that this was the case, but earlier, whenever podcasts were a new thing and true crime podcasts first hit the waves, I thought that the hosts of the podcast were going to confess to crimes that they'd committed. So it was a true crime. I was like, that's a weird thing to go on the air and just confess to things you've done.
look, you know there's one out there who didn't realize that wasn't the case, right?
Well, you know, back in '86, you know those orphanages that burned down?
Jesus.
The culprit's right before you. Thanks for
It
listening,
was
America.
me, Dio.
It was I, Dio! Whoa! The BBs are good girls, just not on my stream. They decide to take it over and things happen. It's weird.
Yeah.
Something that I actually noticed in my journey to post all of the raccoon gifs in different discords is that raccoons have unusually small hands.
They have tiny hands.
They do have tiny hands.
Mm?
I would say they probably have the tiniest of hands.
Maybe.
I
Welcome,
didn't save the one.
welcome, Nemo. Thank you for stopping by.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Finding Nemo
Leave
so much
your
fun.
stream. Pff, it's the BB stream. See, that's what I say. It's my stream, but everyone seems to be taking it over. I work very
This is
hard.
The 42 takeover by Dareinger and Bard.
Oh, it was an Instagram post. It wasn't a it wasn't a GIF. It's the greatest Instagram post ever.
Okay.
My
Really?
my desk is covered in thumbtacks.
Why is it covered in thumbtacks?
I was fixing things on my wall, and I didn't want to poke more holes in my wall, so I took the thumbtacks off of it and used double-sided tape instead, and now all these thumbtacks have nowhere to go.
So you didn't put them in a box or a bag or the garbage?
I have a box for them. I don't know where the box is.
I'm now picturing you with all these thumbtacks, very poorly. They're all placed straight up around you, and you're like, even on your keyboard, they are on the letters of your keyboard. You're just like, I can't move them though. It's against the rules. I have to type with them on there.
Oh, one of them is. Oh, shit. It's a lucky thing that you mentioned that, because I was like, is there thumbtacks on my keyboard? I was like, nah. Oh, wait, there's one.
Can win a Master Duel tournament 4 times in a row. Can't figure out how to pick up a bunch of thumbtacks.
It was late last night, and I was doing a lot of stuff, and I was just like, you know what? I don't. Yeah. I don't want to put these thumbtacks away. I'm too tired.
Okay, so FCT says no one take it over. It was never yours to begin with. And then Miss Creepy Tales also says make a milkshake. Put the thumbtacks in the milkshake and give it to your enemies. Also, Dark Little Voices says sorry MCT, but I can't help for what. But if it helps, it was one of the greatest stream takeovers in history.
It was pretty hilarious. I remember tuning in, and it was just like laughter overload.
Yes, and I even had over top of me saying the BB stream takeover.
Did you?
Mhm.
Oh yeah. I do remember it.
Yep. I quickly put it together and put it up. I'm pretty fast at making things when I need to be. I mean, I made a stream live, like on air, put the background up, put the little avatars in, did all that live while everyone watched because the original plan failed.
Yeah, that's like that one time that I was gonna go live and just, play until dawn, and then the game crapped out on me. I was like, what are you doing, man? I was like, come
They're
on.
making a new game, eh?
That was
That's not part of
probably,
the Dark Ontology
one
or
of
whatever.
the most disappointing things ever.
Yeah, I am with you there. Like, that was so disappointing. I was like ready to just kind of like sit back, chill, and then just watch some teenagers get murdered.
Kill some teenagers.
Yeah, kill some teenagers. And instead, I had to like be very active in escaping from chainsaw maniacs. I was like, what is happening?
Not what I
It's like someone
planned.
else was playing. Someone else was trying to play like The Evil Within or something, and they were trying really hard to get their stream to work too, and it's just not. It was not working out. And I was like, I was really hoping to watch this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it comes with the territory of live streaming, I'm guessing. You know,
Yeah.
like sometimes things fail.
Which is why I actually
was
get everything opened up before I normally stream.
Yeah, and like even now and then you'll run into stupid things like, for example, during our last Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, we had massive frame rate drops like right at the start. And like our internet, I say ours, like everybody streaming with me, my internet connection kept coming in and out, so it was just like my streaming software is all like, bro, this is the poorest connection you've ever had. I was like, oh, this sucks. And then just like after all of the stuff that I put so much effort to, which is where I made like that video with a green screen and everything, and it was skipping the entire time. After all that was said and done, it's all like, okay, your connection's green now. Way to go. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you.
I mean, you can put that green screen video up somewhere else where you put the other one up.
I mean, I guess I could.
I was gonna say I tried to go back and watch it, and then I was like, "Wow, I'm stupid," because it's gonna save it with it skipping like constantly. It's not gonna save the like unskipped version.
No, it's.
I mean, I can put it up, but honestly, like it was just very simple. It's me being facetious, and then me being very.
Where's the
and then me being a jerk, and then just saying, "Yeah, bring it," and
That you won again.
yeah, then I won again. In all fairness, I mean, like, I think that at this point, like, just my reputation is doing all of the heavy lifting because I keep waiting for somebody to beat me, but I think that everybody kind of like gets nervous because it's like, okay, he's been undefeated 4 times now.
I
I'm
was
like,
so ready to like kick your ass,
I know.
and then I just get Buster locked, and it's like you can't play a deck that requires the extra deck if your Buster locked.
Yup.
Would have been fine if Union Hangers banned, but no.
What I'm hearing is danger is a little salty.
Danger Dare.
Danger Dare is a
Oh,
little
more
salty.
than a little.
That there are
More
some
than a
rules
little.
in this game that are not something he's used to because he's a judge, but he's not a very good judge in this game.
No, see, here's the thing. There's 2 different regions for Yu-Gi-Oh! In the actual card game. There's the OCG and then the TCG. The OCG is the Oceania region, so it's all the Asian countries. And then there's the TCG, which is the Eastern,
The Americas.
or Western. Yeah. Master Duel uses a modified version of the OCG ban list, which has a lot of cards on it that are not banned, that are banned in the TCG.
Mm.
So, like, Union Carrier is one of the cards that is banned over here, and it's just, it catches me off guard all the time when someone's like, here, I play a banned card, and it's just like, this game, you shouldn't be able to do this. There's a reason why it's banned over here. It's because we abuse this.
It really goes to show like the duality of man, because there's a like, no, that shouldn't be fair, and in my mind I'm like, wow, this is fair, I can play this.
Next tournament you're gonna be like, oh, I see what Dare's talking about when I summon 2 Supreme King Starving Venoms on my first turn and just burn you for the 8,000. You'd be like, it's FTK Turbo, it's legal.
Not gonna lie, like I was grinding to go to to diamond rank because that's the newest rank, and I was 1 win away from making it to diamond last season, and that's exactly when I ran into FTK Turbo with Supreme King Starving Venom. I was like, no.
well, since ranks reset, I have ran into Ronco Midiad, BFD, Starving King Turbo.
Those
and
guys.
I'm just gonna wait till the bots get back up to gold so I can just get the free wins from the bots.
I mean, like, just to put it in perspective for people who are none the wiser, this is like you going to your old high school where all of your bullies have gone to prison, and for some reason they're not in prison anymore. So you're just like, oh no.
This is like you going to prison where all your bullies are held, and you're just there in the cell with them, and for some reason they're mad at you for being in prison.
Yeah. So they're all gonna do all of the stupid stuff that you know them for, and it's a nightmare. In all fairness, though, you don't run into a lot of it often, and additionally, the thing about these things is whenever they're played, more often than not, they fall apart to a single interruption. You just have to know where to interrupt. The problem there is that you have to draw into the interruption, which a lot of the times you may or may not. So, yeah.
It's still upsetting to see them when they do show up, but
Dark Little Voices. Wow, that's definitely a ring of hell. Yeah, we're in the ring of hell where Yu-Gi-Oh problem cards are unbanned.
Well, see, as a judge, like at locals, there's like 2 guys that I honestly dislike dealing with, because one guy just he tries to be funny and it just doesn't land, And other guys like, well, it happens in Master Duel, so you can do this in the real world game too. And it's like, no, we tried that. It didn't work. That's why the card's banned. It's like, well, in Master Duel, VFD's at 1. It's like, no, stop.
I thought putting him at 1 was fair. Like I was like, yeah, he's a degenerate card, but if you lose your 1 copy, what does your deck fall back onto? Like fair play. Now you have to go Shen instead of VFD. But I don't know.
Well, it was the fact that so many decks could abuse VFD.
That's true.
Like Machina could do it really easily because it's just 2 level 8s and they spam out level 8s and level 10s. And
I thought it was level 9. I thought he was a rank 9.
Is he?
I think so.
Yeah, he probably is. I don't know.
Yeah.
That gets all confused. There's 10,000 cards in the game. It's hard to remember.
Yeah. It's true.
Good morning, King of the Canadian Hill. Welcome.
King of the Canadian Hill, like being like by being on my side of the fence during the last tournament. He's just like, I believe in Bard supremacy, and I was like, yeah, let's go.
The only Bard supporter in the chat.
I was so happy about it.
I was there. Well, I had to leave it near the middle.
Yeah, you left. It ran long, man. I didn't expect for it to run this long.
Yeah, and here did I.
Like,
I had a video to go to. My premiere for my big ass video. Well, not big ass, but it was a big collab.
Yeah, I mean, like normally it's 2 hours and then we're done. But this time, man, it was long.
3.
It's actually got. Yeah, it was almost 4. It was 3.5.
Well, it's usually our shows, like the normal shows, are only like an hour, and
right.
I think that's what the tournament ones does. Take so much out of you because, like you said, it's like a 2 to 3 hour, sometimes 4 hour stream. And, if you remember, after the stream, I messaged you. I was like, I fell asleep.
Yeah. Dare fell asleep halfway through, which is funny because like at the end, Helix was asking about a card interaction. I was like, wait a minute, why didn't this resolve this way? And I was like, all right, Dare, you may need to pitch in here because I'm not sure I'm thinking about this correctly, but I think this is how it resolved. And I said that, and then Dare said nothing, and I was like, I wonder where he's at. the entire time, Dare's just catching some Z's.
Well, like the night before, Saturdays are locals night, which is I go at like 3 and I don't get home till like 5 a.m. So that was a night that we stayed out till like 5 a.m. And I was just exhausted the next morning. And I was like, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to die.
And thus,
Oh, that's wonderful.
Dareinger died. Also, apparently, Miss Creepy Tales had her guest and her talking for 20 minutes before anyone realized that the sound wasn't going through. At least I haven't done that one.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I was gonna say like that's me, man. Like whenever I'm putting
it's a reverse you.
It's
Serafin,
a reverse me. Yeah,
we'll be talking during the like intro sequence when it like something's playing and it's like the we'll be starting soon. And it's everyone can hear us and they're like we can hear you. It's hard you forgot to mute us.
And we're gonna hear Dareinger.
It's not always both of us.
It's normally only Dareinger. It's only the guest. We can't hear what Bard's saying.
It normally I mute every mic, but I'll like one of them I'll forget about. So it's either only ever Dare, or it's just me, or it's just the guest. So it's really weird.
Which it's dangerous because I like to take those pre-stream moments to like say some hot mics, and it gets to be like a Call of Duty Modern Warfare lobby sometimes, and we can't stream that. We'll get the show shut down.
Raven will walk over and be like, "No more," and shut it down on you.
It was actually kind of hilarious because I remember like one of the most recent ones. Dare was telling us about a 12-year-old at his locals who's better than everyone there, And what was it that he said? Like, so I
He's
turn
like-
off all the mics, so all you hear is Dare immediately when the video starts. He's all like, better than everyone here, and I'm like, oh no.
That's like the first thing you hear is just better than everyone else.
I'm the greatest. You all suck.
Oh man, I was like, oh man, I'm so happy I knew what the context of that was.
Everyone else is like, okay.
Just like a swarm of surprised Pikachu faces in chat.
I'm actually surprised no one picked the cryptids. I
Um,
don't think everyone remembers
it-
that we did a podcast about cryptids for like 3 episodes.
I still remember.
I did.
I thought we were gonna get back to it.
I want to, but the
I-
problem is it's the research time that I don't have time for.
Well, I don't remember if I was talking to you or if I was talking to Serafin about that, but it was I think it was during one of our pre-stream shows actually.
Hmm.
But I was like, what happened to that? Because that was a very interesting stream that you guys did where it was obvious that you guys put a lot of time and effort into it because you were like actually doing your research for each cryptid that
Oh,
you
yeah.
talked about.
Yeah.
And I think it was Serafin who said, well, it was too much work and we have other things that we need to be getting done, so we couldn't just put all the extra work and stuff and have time to do all this other stuff because I mean you guys are both busy. So
Yes. And now he's
Yep.
got this thing called Yu-Gi-Oh that he plays all the time.
I mean, I was playing it all the time before that. Master Duel just makes it a hell of a lot easier.
Fair point. I mean, truth be told, if Seraphy wanted to do the research and we just talked about it, I'd be perfectly fine with that. But the problem is I just don't have time for the research part of it anymore with everything I do. Seriously. My videos take way too much time to make. I have a problem. And it's me. Truth
You
be
hear
told.
what I'm hearing, Dare?
We
What
should open up another restaurant based on cryptids.
Yeah, but specifically, what I was thinking
Sexy
here is
cryptids.
sexy cryptids, of course. Yeah, I love how we're always on the same wavelength.
You
Yeah.
put a P in there, my brain made me think of septic. And I'm like, no, we
No.
should probably avoid that kind.
Yes.
Health inspector's worst nightmare right there.
Yeah, you're like, welcome to our new restaurant where we clap Mothman cheeks.
Oh, God.
Nah, that's something I could get behind. We could have King of the Canadian Hill be like our mascot, just walking around in like a spandex Mothman suit.
No, he'd have to be a moose man. He'd be like wearing a moose thing.
I'm
Well,
surprised
he'll be
there's
a
not a
Mothman with a
moose
moose
cryptid
head.
in Canada.
No, we got skinwalkers instead.
Oh yeah, that's right. Those can have moose heads.
Those can have whatever you want them to have. They change to whatever you need. Which actually, skinwalkers was supposed to be the next one.
Man, like I am so upset because what's it called? Yesterday night, my wife was like, "Hey, let's watch a scary movie," and I was like, "Okay, let's watch a scary movie." And there's like a movie on called like They Come Knocking, and I was like, "Oh, that looks scary." And no lie, within the first 10 seconds of the movie, they give away what the monster is, and I was like, "Why would you?"
What was the
rest of the
monster?
movie, Black-Eyed Kids.
Ah.
So for the rest of the movie, I'm like, well, now there's no tension. I don't know what this is, or I know exactly what it is.
But
So I was like,
I'm not gonna lie, if you just gave me that title of a movie, I would assume it's like a documentary of the growing up of the Black Eyed Peas.
yeah.
yes.
Like, this is all of their like childhoods and stuff.
This is before they were the Black Eyed Peas. This is when they were the Pods.
So King says we got this, and the Dark Little Voices. Well, I mean, he wore a female goose costume before. That is true, Dark Little Voices. He did. Did that other goose ever call King back, though? I mean, really should have. They had something special there. It's weird. I know that I've gotten, like, really into the community and a lot of people know me now, but whenever I'm on, like, someone else's channel and I get name dropped, I'm like, what the hell just happened here? How do you know me? Oh, right, I do know you, but that's aside the point. And the other problem is I'm going to be starting playing D&D again, so yeah, I'm going to have even less time soon. Forgot about that. Though I don't know when that's happening. Though that doesn't need
D&D.
Much practice.
Dungeons and Dragonites.
So you gotta be the human race, because that's obviously the best race.
You can't play the human. Humans
Why?
in this world are rare and treated like lesser than human. They're treated like scum in this world.
Can you play a human pretending to be an elf?
No, actually, elves too. You have to be. It's more animals.
Can you play a human pretending to be a dwarf?
Again, it has to be animals. It's more an animal central world.
Can you
play
be a
a
T-Rex?
human pretending to be a chimp?
To be fair, I have played a D&D game where my friend tamed a T-Rex. We called him Mr. T. He pulled our cart. He stole my sword once. It was very good.
I would watch a series on this.
We should. I was also playing one of my characters called VF, which is the one I made the story off of, so it was very... I burned a church down. That was the first session.
Silver Underworld drops a question in the chat. Welcome, Silver.
If you could be an ugly B/monster, ugly/B/monster, what would you be?
You don't want me to answer that truthfully.
I want to know what an ugly is.
I think he meant an ugly B/monster, but I think he put too many slashes in there. Elder Silver!
Well, I can't say that I would be an ugly, because I am an ugly already, which is...
Aw, no, that can't be true.
Who go cry in the corner?
Nah, you're beautiful on the inside, and that's all that matters.
Yes,
On the outside, though, yeah, you're pretty hard to look at.
I don't know what you look like.
This is fair. You have not done a face reveal, man.
Neither is Serafin, to be fair.
Actually, he has.
I've done a couple of face reveals, just like I've done them so low key that unless you were watching, you wouldn't have noticed. Like up until like the end of last year,
month?
I had my photo on my website, which is linked in every one of my videos.
Which, by the way, those photos were very high class. I love those photos. It totally looks like you knew what you're doing. You went out and you got some really nice pictures of yourself, and were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna use this on my website."
Well, here's the thing. Before I was in the auto industry, I was a photographer, so I have had every job imaginable. Like, if you can think of something, I've done something adjacent to it, probably.
Serafin, are you really sure you're not me? Like, are
Why?
you? Because I worked at a photo lab, and I did photo editing, and I know a lot about that stuff.
No, I did work on the photo lab too. This was before I became a photographer. I was like in a Walgreens photo lab, which is, I guess, a photo lab.
Yeah, my husband did too. But no, I actually worked in. It was just like it was a photo studio, and I worked at the lab part of it and fixed the pictures up properly.
Yeah, no, I didn't do any of that. Like in the Walgreens photo lab, you basically let the machine do all the work, and then you change the chemicals. But what was it called? When I became a photographer, it was all digital, baby. I shot a couple of weddings, and a couple of graduation photos, and a few bar mitzvahs. So it was good going for a while. The problem is, whenever you're a freelancer, you kind of have to be on top of your stuff.
Yes.
And I am notoriously bad for being on top of my stuff.
Yes, I think you need a secretary. Oh,
I think so too. Well, the thing is, she gets mad at me all the time for having to remind me of crap already. If that was her, like, permanent, this is your job, I think she would murder me.
Unless she knew it was because you were bringing good money in.
Yeah, I know, which presently I am not.
No,
You know,
you're not.
like my freelancing is not bringing in a lot of money. Audiobooks do all right. They don't do a lot, so or well, I'm not at the point where they do a lot. I can get to that point. I'm not there yet.
Yes.
So but going back, ugly beast or monster, if you wanted to be one, 42, what kind of monster would you be?
Skinwalker's what goes through my head, so probably that, because that'd be scary as fuck. But I could be whatever I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just couldn't talk. That's the only problem with skinwalkers. They basically mimic things.
Oh, so they really cannot talk?
They every story I've ever heard of them, the sounds that they put out are very repetitive, like a recording. So it's like they catch that voice, so it's always the exact same tone, the exact same everything. So it's not like they can actually make their own sounds.
Now that I think about it, I think I had you play a skinwalker on a story on my channel.
Mm-hmm. And I tried to make
Yeah.
sure the tones sound exactly the same each time I did it for you.
Right, and every time that I could, I just like duplicated your voice and made it echo. So I was like, yeah.
Yeah, skinwalkers are scary as fuck.
Mhm.
Yeah, they only repeat or say things that their victims have heard or known. Yeah, so
That would be so weird, like a skinwalker trying to target me. I was like, VFD's totally okay at 1. And I was like, yeah, thank you. Like, Union Carrier's not a problem.
And then we would know it's a skinwalker because only a true the words that came to my head are all so mean, and I don't want to say them. Only a true person of
Seraphin's caliber.
Bard's caliber would say something like that.
There you go. Nicer way of saying it.
If he's ever lost out in the woods, he's just gonna like do smoke signals that say like VFD 1, Union Carrier come back. I'm just like,
Electromite
he's
is
over
fine
there,
at 3.
okay, now we can agree on Electromite. That's Electromite. Give us our boy back.
Yeah. Electromite's a girl, but okay.
Boy, okay, look. It's like saying dude. Dude's not, yeah. It's not really gender. It's gender neutral now.
It was hilarious because my boss was having this whole conversation. It's like, okay, so what's a gender neutral thing that we can call people in the office? And I was like, mortals. And he was like, okay,
Fair.
Conan the Barbarian. And I was like,
Fair.
yep.
Fair. Dude is actually pretty general neutral at this point. It's not really a guy or a girl thing. It's like, dude, that's awesome. Dude, how you doing? It's not really a guy thing. It's just
Taking suggestions for gender neutral things to call people fuckers.
Mother Hubbard.
Whoa! Why would you say so controversial yet so true?
I know, right?
Like Peeps. Peeps is good too.
Peeps aren't good. That's why everyone like microwaves them instead of eat them.
But then
I
they become
eat them.
super big, and then they take over the whole world. Just stop microwaving Peeps.
I like Peeps. I eat them.
It's just marshmallow. Marshmallow with extra sugar on it.
Marshmallow
And
with
happiness.
sugar that tastes a little different. It's weird. Has
Yeah, I
anyone
like it.
purposely scared kids recently? Example, tell a scary story, jump scare, or show a scary video. No, I have no kids anywhere near me. They're not allowed near me anymore. I have a restraining order on all kids. Don't ask questions. There was a mask involved, and I did a recording of things. It was the Skinwalker. Anyways.
My brother-in-law has kids now, and it's kind of hilarious because I did scare them recently, and basically by like just saying like, hey, you know all those toys you got and all those cartoons you like to watch. When you're an adult, you don't have time for them.
They
I
made
thought you were gonna be
cereal
like,
called
well,
Peace.
I'm Bard, and I'm the 4-time world champion of Master Duel. Yeah.
Now, Bard, did you invite
Yeah.
them into your house?
My brother-in-law's kids?
Yes. Did you invite them into your house?
Okay, look, I have to tell this story now because, I guess 242 is kind of egging me on. People in my family have not noticed that my superstition is high against things that are supernatural. So, like, for example, I have never once invited anyone into my house. What I do when they knock on my door is I open the door and I take a step back and I wait to see what happens. Usually because people are accustomed to norms, they'll just walk in, But like, for example, a vampire or a fairy or something like that could not do that. They would require a literal invitation. So one time my brother-in-law came over and he knocks on the door and then I open the door and I took a step back and he says, well, are you going to invite me in? Nice. I was like, nice trick, fairy. So instead of saying, yeah, come in, I was like, the door is open. He's like, okay. And he steps in and my wife just kind of like, and him had this conversation. I was like, well, why wouldn't he invite you in? So she has a conversation with me after he's gone. And she's like, okay, so why didn't you invite him in? And I was like, because I don't know if he's a fairy or a vampire or something. And then she's all like, what? And I'm like, yeah, like those things can't come into your house unless you invite them in. So instead of inviting them in, I open the door and I step back and I wait to see what happens. And she's like, that is so crazy. She's like, like you're being weird. At this point, it's kind of like we get into the whole revelation. I was like, you ever wonder why I was so against getting a mat for our door that said welcome? That's because most fairies would see that as an invitation in writing. And she's like, oh my God. I was like, my welcome mat doesn't say welcome. It says wipe your feet.
You know what? You could have turned around going, you're the one who started dating me after I took you to a Spanish exorcism. What'd you expect?
I know. I'm like, no, I'm not messing around with this crap. Like, so yeah, like, no, I don't invite them in. And luckily, kids, right away whether they're on the level or not. If you open a door, they'll just walk right on in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I'm not worried about them. But whenever her brother was just kind of like, are you gonna invite me in? I was like, this seems sus.
The door is open. You do what you think is right.
I'm like, the door is open. And he's just like, wow.
So, the funny story is, the reason that works is because you have a threshold. The house I grew up in didn't have a threshold. Which explains a lot of things about that house. There was a lot of ghost activity in that house. Like, a lot. And it wasn't things that should have been there. Because the house was not haunted when we moved in. It's not haunted anymore either. It's just haunted when we lived there.
I gotta say, like, once I die, I will haunt the shit out of something. I don't know what yet, but I will haunt it.
It'll be your wife until she dies.
I'm like, I will haunt something. Who knows what? But, like, something just completely random, like a park bench. Like, people sit on the park bench, it's like, haha, you fool!
Silver Underworld says, we are married, can't escape now, got it locked in.
I mean, like, here's the thing. She is not thanking me for all of the supernatural things that haven't happened because I've been on my game.
But at the same time, dude, how much supernatural stuff really would have happened? Except for
Well,
ghosts.
that's the thing. See, like, has anything supernatural happened? No. Why? Because Bard. That's why.
Well,
I thought your
my
apartment was
question-
haunted.
It is, but it's a friendly one.
my question is, how many mirrors do you have in your house?
Actually, just one.
The bathroom mirror.
Yeah.
Do you keep it covered up when it's
Yes.
not being used?
I got a curtain in front of it, and my excuse for it was, whenever you use the sink, sometimes the water splashes up and dirties the mirror. And then she's
You know, if I ever come to visit you, I'm going to just play off of this so hard. I will. I just knowing how you are now, I will stand outside for like hours and be like, "Hey, it's really hot. Can you like invite me to come in?" But Bard, I'm gonna get heat stroke. You need to invite me. You need to invite me into your house, Bard. Bard,
The door is open. Do what
It's
you
gonna get to
want.
the part. It's gonna be Bard. You need to call an ambulance. I'm heat stroking out over here. She's like, the door's open. You can come in and call yourself.
I mean, there's other tests that I could run. I mean, because like they're like, you know, failing everything. Like, say for example, if I had told my brother-in-law, "Hey, the door's open," and he didn't come in, but then my wife is like, "Hey, what are you doing out there? Come on in." I would have done the thing where it's like, okay, well, now there's a couple of other tests I can run. For example,
I have
keep
to put a
holy
stake through his heart.
I keep holy water in the house, so there's that. Secondly, what's it called? Fairies are notorious for having to count literally everything. So I would just drop some salt in front of him and see if he starts counting the grains. So
I would literally.
So,
God.
did that
dang it.
priest bless that crowbar for you?
no, he didn't.
Damn.
He did. He was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Some stuff's haunted, and I need it not to be." And he's all like, "My son, would you like to come to service?" And I was like, "No,
No.
just bless the crowbar."
No, just bless this goddamn crowbar for me, okay? Jeez. You're making this awkward.
I was like, "You're standing in the middle of a sanctuary with a crowbar, my child."
Oh, it's only a sanctuary because you believe it to be. Hey, puppet. What the heck did I just stumble into?
Yeah, Somber, you just stumbled into me telling the story of why I don't invite people into my house because they may or may not be vampires or fairies.
Or
So
werewolves or skinwalkers.
yes.
So
So you know,
skinwalkers can walk into your house.
can they?
Yes.
Huh.
But if you have sage, that stops them. Sage is also good
I
against
have it.
ghosts.
I have started growing sage in my garden.
I need to
I'm gonna
actually
just
cleanse
show
my
up
house.
to Seraphin's
I see.
house with like a black parasol and just wearing all black. And be like, hey, we don't have garlic in your house, do you? It's I'm allergic.
Also,
It's
fairies
like-
can be harmed by iron. You are right.
Hey, Dare, would you like to hold this crowbar real quick?
No. I'm good. You can just put that down somewhere.
It's like, come on.
Here, just hold it for like just the smallest of seconds. No, I'm allergic to iron. Fuck off.
Allergic, you say? Interesting.
I go the extra mile and desensitize myself to iron, so every time I touch iron, my hands will like break out in a rash and like have red rashes all over them.
I'd be like,
you know what the scary part is? I could see Dareinger knowing how to do that.
Fairy says what?
I
Qui? That's
that,
what in
that
French.
gif again. It's that picture of the guy holding onto his desk, sweating profusely.
This would just end up being like a really weird standoff where like Dare's like, okay, what's the next test gonna be? And me being like, okay, what's he not expecting?
Silver Underworld asks if y'all switch channels for a week, what would you do?
Like switching between each other's channels, or like switching as in doing a different channel altogether?
Yeah, we need clarification on that one. Hello, Alternative Night. Good evening.
Alternative night. I suggest to keep safe from fairies. When you open the door to visitors, don't invite them in. Just open the door all the way and take a step back and see if they walk in on their own.
To be
This
fair,
is gonna
I
be the
do.
stream that like ends our friendship, Serafin, because I'm just gonna be like constantly trying to convince you that I'm either a vampire or a fairy now. It's like, you've never actually seen me out in the sunlight, have you? I don't like Italian food. Too much garlic in it.
Well, in that case, I mean, like, neither do I. I think a little garlic's fine. Too much garlic's.
Yeah, but it's
The amount of garlic I eat
it's
at times.
a preference versus a poison.
Yeah.
You prefer less garlic. Garlic poisons me.
I see. Would you like a drink of water?
Kind of tastes a little stale.
It
Serafin
tastes
takes
like
over
burning.
242's
It's just
channel.
alcohol.
Okay, so Serafin takes over my channel and can upload whatever he wants, and I do the same to Serafin's.
Okay, this is going to turn into like a really weird Alex Jones type of podcast. Except, instead of being like super...
They're putting chemicals in the water.
Exactly, but like that, but with supernatural beings, so it's like, oh yeah, these fairies keep trying to walk into houses. Don't invite people in. Take away your welcome mats and put some mat that says something generic, like, don't, like, what?
I love Taco Tuesday.
I love Taco Tuesday. Several pets live here, something like that. Because if you put welcome on your mat, then that's just inviting them in.
See, and I would just keep uploading regular videos to Serafin's.
Oh, so she would help my numbers?
I was just like...
No.
I would just narrate my own voice, but probably like, here's the story. Write one of those awesome intros and I'll do it for you.
No, not to say that what's it called, like my type of content wouldn't draw in viewers. It would just draw in the weird viewers.
Yeah, and then
Like,
I have to deal with it afterwards. I don't want Alex Jones my channel.
So some guys living out in the woods in a cottage by themselves with like a satellite internet or something, just like, hell yeah, man, they knocking on my door all times of night.
They gotta have their tinfoil hats on so the fairies can't read their minds.
Like, this guy gets it. He knows.
He's seeing the truth, man. He's seeing the truth. Truth be told, I probably could just put a bunch of nerdy stuff on Serafi's channel and it would fit.
Yep.
And
Cooking
today,
videos.
we are going to be watching this do reaction videos to weird stuff I watch.
I thought about doing reaction videos for a while too, like, cause they just look like so easy to do. Like you watch a thing that you were gonna watch any damn way. Well, of course, like, so, yeah, so whatever. But like, you can do things to get around that. Like you can play like maybe 30 seconds of something at a time. You can like put a watermark over the thing that you're watching and be like, yeah, like blah blah blah. But I thought that this would be like so easy to just shoot. It's just the editing that's kind of annoying. But what's it called? Like, I would have loved to have done a reaction video to the League of Legends show Arcane, because I swear, like, my reactions to things as they were happening in that show were the most animated. Where I was like, no, why are you evil? You were supposed to be.
I haven't seen it. 242 would host the Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Oh god, I would have no idea what's going on. And this card is something. And that card is something. And this card is pretty.
The next Nevermore tournament we do, can we have 42 be a commentator?
Oh,
Sure.
God. Okay.
I'm all for it.
She's gonna be the color commentator, so she has to give like the play-by-play of everything that happens.
And
like, he summoned the
thingamajiggy.
Biru.
No, he's on the thingamajiggy, and now he's got rid of the thingamajiggy, and now he's got this new thingamajiggy and this doodad, and now he's I don't know, he's doing things. This card's really pretty.
For some reason, all of his cards are gone now.
Seriously, I can't keep track of Yu-Gi-Oh. How fast the cards come onto the screen and disappear on the screen, it's ridiculous. Yep. Alex Jones be like, I don't like it when they put the chemicals in the water and give the froggy frogs fair wings.
Yeah, see, Alternative Night knows what's up. The fairy frogs have become a real problem.
They're putting chemicals in the water and turn the frogs into fairies.
Like,
what happened to Alex Jones? Did he get
No.
banned off of every platform?
Yes. He is no longer. He got banned from YouTube. He got banned from Twitter, and a bunch of other places. I think he's on some stuff. Like he has his own website, so of course he's not banned there. But yeah, all
Gets banned from his own website.
all his mainstream stuff, yeah, gone. Too much miscommunications, and after the Sandy Hook shit.
I get the
got-
freedom of speech stuff, but like there's a certain point where it's just you go too far.
Well, he was the one linked to all the parents getting
Did 42 die?
harassed. Can you guys not hear me? Did I hit something? Am I here? Hello?
You kind of like
42 died.
roboted out for a while. You're back now. I
Okay.
can hear you.
After the
we-
Sandy Hook and all the stuff that happened because of that, he got canceled basically.
Oh yeah.
They linked it back
I
to him.
remember, he said some stuff about the Sandy Hook
Being a setup.
massacre that was you don't
Yeah.
say
No,
stuff like that.
no, and-
that's really bad.
Yeah, and it caused a lot of problems to those poor parents who were already dealing with their poor kids being gone, and now they've got all these people saying that, none of this actually happened, and it's just heartbreaking. Like, I couldn't imagine having to deal with that and then something else on top of that, and it didn't matter what because a bunch of them came out and tried to like, no, here's the proof that my kid was real, please leave me alone, and it didn't stop them. So it was heartbreaking. And I think that was the nail in the coffin for him. He already had some bad stuff going on before that. It just was the final thing.
Yeah, he was not a good person.
He's
A lot of memes came out of him, but he was a terrible human being.
He is a terrible human being. He's still around. He's still doing stuff. He's just not on YouTube and he's not on Twitter or anything. And I'm completely for deplatforming people when they're giving misinformation and causing harm to people. Like, these are privately owned companies where you're putting this stuff. They have all right to go turn around and go 242, you can't have a channel anymore. There's really nothing I can say because it's their company. It's their right to go, yeah, you're done. This is if I want
242, you can't have a channel anymore. Really? Fairy says what?
Art, stop it.
that would not be what I would.
YouTube's owned by fairies.
That would explain the growth out of Google. It seems magically inclined. But no, I'm just whatever. It is what it is. Like, I'm not making all my money off of this now. If I was making all my money on YouTube and they went, yeah, you can't have a channel anymore, I'd be like, what? But right
If
now,
you were making money off of your YouTube channel, though, I think that would imply that you have such a big following that you could literally just jump platforms and it would be fine.
depends on how big of a platform you have. I mean, Bad
Depends
Vibes.
on what platform you go to, too.
Yes, Bad Vibes has his monetization taken away again. Second time.
Yeesh.
Because he's, in quotes, using the same content over and over again. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, it's a different story every time. It's different. Like, it's my voice narrating these stories. Like, what do you want? But he does black videos, so there's nothing on screen, and I'm wondering if that's the problem.
Well, I would feel like that probably would be the main issue with that, because if YouTube's detection system sees that every video is just the same static image or whatever, it would probably be like, oh, well, you should probably change that because you're violating TOS by uploading the same video, even though it's not the same video.
No, because it's not. It's not the same video. It's just the same background every time. Which is kind of why
Yeah.
every video has its own background. Every story for my channel has a background. Originally, it was just going to be the thumbnail in the background. I was like, no, that's not 42 enough. I need to make it so every single story has its own picture because I'm crazy. I also like making them, so I can't say anything. I do enjoy making those pictures. I do. It's the truth. It's a lot of fun. Getting to try to like, okay, so this is what the story was. How do I put that as a picture? I try to tell the story with a picture. So, and special.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black screen is making the robot unhappy. Says King.
Okay, so they're not fairies, they're robots.
Yeah, actually.
They're putting chemicals in the algorithm to turn the robots into fairies? Question mark?
September Dragon said that his wife built a Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and she picked by picking all cute cards. Good morning, getting spooky.
I've tried that in the past.
Have you tried that?
I'm not gonna lie, there's like certain decks that I've built just because they're like super cute. Like I have Melfies, which are just like the cute pastel bunny, rabbit, cat, dog archetype.
Yeah, they're like children's book illustrations.
I already have a cat dog. I don't need another cat dog. I have a dog cat and a cat dog, okay? I don't
No,
need
but
more.
you don't understand. Melfies are adorable.
Yeah, so are my cat dog and my dog cat. I've shown you pictures. My dog acts like a cat and my cat acts like a dog. Seriously. That's before we got the cat. The dog acted like a cat. Also, so the cat's an inside cat. And she's a kitten. And yesterday, she got outside. She didn't try to jump the fence. She didn't try to escape. She just went to the dog and started playing with her. The cat gets outside and her first thing is, let's play! Which was a good thing because then we realized the cat was outside and we were able to grab her and pull her inside because she's not going to be an outside cat. One, not safe for the cat. Two, not good for the environment. Three, not safe for the cat. You two.
So
4,
4, she's a fairy.
I declare a war.
5.
She's
I need
also a
38
vampire.
reasons.
She's a vampire.
She's a
6.
Aw, those are cute. Those are adorable illustrations.
Mhm.
Okay.
I can't wait till we get Melfi Stare Down. That's just the best card ever. And it's solely because it's just like a close-up of Melfi Rabi's face, and he's just staring at you with like the 1,000-yard stare.
This is one of my favorite things about Yu-Gi-Oh is that, you know, like it is such a crazy card game that, you know, consistency in the card art be damned. You know, like we're gonna if we want to like make an archetype where it's just boats
Cuties.
made out of sushi, we're gonna make boats made out of sushi, damn it. And like now, if we
Yeah,
want to
well,
make
sushi.
cute little baby animals, we're gonna make cute baby animals.
Silver Underworld asks, what gave you all the spark to start your YouTube channel? I want to hear everyone's origin stories. Dareinger, why did you start YouTube?
Well, originally it was because my ex had a YouTube channel, and then, but that was like back when I was in high school, and then recently, I say recently, it was 2 years ago,
Nice.
I started uploading again because my father passed away, and I found this as some way to give me like a way to take my mind off the situation that happened. It was like a escape for me. And then now that I'm like kind of back at a stable area, I say stable with huge quotation marks.
You're Dareinger, you're
I just
never
haven't
stable.
uploaded.
You're Dareinger, you're never
I
stable.
use all my YouTube times to do our podcast with me and Bard,
Yeah.
where people can't see it, but we're actually like holding hands the whole time.
Oh yeah.
The whole time. I can hear it in your guys' voices.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is sad that your dad passed away, but Yeah, I got you.
Oh yeah.
Also, is your ex still doing YouTube? Do you know?
No. I haven't actually talked to. I guess the correct pronoun would be him now and forever. It's, when we dated, he was a she,
Mm-hmm.
and then decided to transition after we broke up. But
Doesn't everyone have an
moved
ex in
to Europe.
transition? Okay, my ex didn't move to Europe, but I have an
Moved
ex
to
like
Europe,
that.
and I believe he like backpacks around Europe now, and every now and then posts pictures on Instagram and places he's been.
That sounds like the life. Why aren't I doing that life?
Doesn't
Why am
it-
I here?
Doesn't it just like, let's just like abandon everything we have,
It just
go
start
to Europe, and
Let's
just
backpack.
go.
Yeah, no, this sounds like a
Yeah,
great
that's
idea.
right. Abandon modernity, return to monkey.
Serafin,
That
why did you start
is-
your channel?
It was either this or prison.
You think he's joking?
You'd be so bored you get yourself in prison.
What?
You'd be so bored you get yourself in prison.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
That tracks with you, yes.
Do I make narration videos or do I commit arson?
Or do I steal trucks?
Oh god, the truck. Okay, so now I have to tell this story because here's the perfect setup. So, recently I helped someone break into a truck because I'm a nice person. And it didn't cross my mind until way after they were gone. I was like, wait a minute, was that their truck? So I'm just walking to the corner store to get myself some potato rings, which is a type of chip that we have here in Texas. So I'm like, I'm going to go get myself some potato rings and some Mountain Dew. And I'm going out there and I hear the sound of glass shattering, right? And I'm like, oh, I look over and there's this guy trying to like open a truck. I was like, huh, that's weird. So I keep going. I go to there and I put my stuff on the counter and I realize I forgot my wallet. So I'm like, okay, walk home. I'm not far away from the corner store. So I like walk back home and I grab my wallet and I'm heading back. And as I'm walking back, I like to actually turn to look and the guy, you know, he's just cursing up a storm and he sees me coming and he says, hey guy, you want to make $20? And I said, sure. And he's all like, I locked myself out of my truck, and also my girlfriend won't let me into the house because she's mad at me. So you know, I'm just out here and I don't have access to the extra key, and the key's just in there. Would you mind reaching in through this broken window and unlocking it? And I was like, no problem. And I do exactly as he asked, and I opened the door. And then he's like, all right, man. And he like pulls out his wallet and he's got like a handful of $100 bills. And he's like, I'm going to have to go break this to give you a 20. I was like, hey, you know what? Don't even worry about it. You're in a tough situation. Girlfriend's mad at you. I mean, like, honestly, if I was in your position, I would love some help too. And he's like, well, thanks a lot, guy. And I was like, yeah, no worries. So I go over, I buy my potato rings, and then I go home. And as I'm eating my potato rings and drinking my Mountain Dew, I'm like, wait, I have no idea if that was actually his truck.
Serafin,
turn
you
around
are
as you're
too
walking
innocent
away.
for this world. And the
You
funny
turn
part
around
is, I would do it
And
too.
the guy's just like reaching in and pulling out the radio and leaving with the truck, just like getting in another vehicle.
Yep. Well,
We're not gonna ask questions about this. We're just gonna. That was the guy's truck. He got locked out. That's it.
next time I went out there, there was no truck. So I mean, he did take it. I don't know if that was his truck. So that's where we are.
I helped someone rob a bank because I'm a nice guy. It's the Silver Underworld. Bard, I'm thinking, let's try something new. Let's go to jail, says King of the Canadian Hill. Alternative night cop says, Serafin, you're under arrest for being bored.
I know. I helped someone rob a bank because I'm a nice guy. Like, hey guy. Like,
Wanna make $20?
my friend, who was my ride, decided to take off, and I got all these bags of money. Can you give me a ride? I'm like, sure. I'm gonna need you to drive real fast, though. I'm like, no problem.
Are you like a stockbroker or something? Why do you have so much money? Yeah, I'm a stockbroker.
Yeah, that's right. I broke all the stocks. That's why the money's here.
Here, put this ski mask on so no one can see your face.
September Dragon, is that true? You got arrested for breaking into your own truck? Was it September that you were helping? I wonder. Though he doesn't live in Texas.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's.
No,
it's
that
just
could
a
have been
guy.
Hare. You might have run into Hare raising narratives. He does live in Texas.
Oh, that would have been funny if it's like, like I'm helping him break into a truck, and it's like, wait a minute, HR?
Wait a minute.
Serafin?
Dude!
Like, hey man, fancy meeting you here breaking into your own truck. It's like, yeah, it's not my truck. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I'm gonna walk away now. I'm gonna unfriend you on everything, and we're never gonna talk again. Bye!
Now, in my defense, I will put these things forward. Firstly, it was broad daylight in a
Yeah.
very traffic-heavy area. So him breaking into a truck that he's stealing would just make him a bad thief.
Would it though?
Yeah, secondly,
Because people wouldn't expect you to do,
To do that.
I guess so. Secondly, he's in front of the freaking leasing office. So, like, the people in the leasing office have a line of sight on him. Next up, what's it called? He's not being quiet. He's
Fair.
making a lot of noise. So, like, I'm listening to him curse up a storm because he can't reach. Because he's a heavy-set guy, and the window that he broke is one of those,
Tiny
you know,
ones.
if you've ever seen a truck, like, they have, like, those back windows that slide open.
Yes.
So that's the window that he broke. You know, he didn't break one of the side windows. He broke the back window.
Yeah, okay. This is leaning more towards this probably was the guy's truck then.
Right. So, you know, like I'm seeing all of that. And then lastly, after I broke the truck, I opened the truck for him. He wasn't in a hurry to leave. You know, he wasn't, you know, like he wasn't like, oh, okay, thank you for opening the trunk. I'm getting out of here now. You know, he was just like, oh, okay, well, thank you, guy. You know, like really appreciate it. Opens his wallet and with his ID exposed, by the way. So, I mean, like, if I had been smarter, I would have like read his name, but I'm not. So, and you know, he pulls out money to pay me for the thing that he asked me to do. So I'm like, okay, so. In my head, I kept justifying.
$100. Oh, just give me the 100. I'll take the 100, and we'll be all
Yeah,
good. I'll keep this hush hush.
Yeah, I know. Like, hey,
I'll
bro,
only
you got,
tell
like,
my YouTube friends.
you got like 10 hundreds in there. Let me have one of them.
You
You're
got
not
like
gonna.
$1,000.
You got like $1,000. Let me have $100.
He's not a bad thief at that moment. He successfully stole that truck.
So I kept justifying it to myself, like, nah, that was his truck. There's no way. Like, you know, like you would have to be a really stupid thief to do that in the broad daylight, or a really smart thief to have someone assist you.
September Dragon Audio says, yes, I locked my keys in my truck. I left my wallet and phone at home. I was picking the lock of my truck, and I was at university. The campus cops arrested me. That
Holy
sucks,
cow.
September. So I'm hoping... Also... Yeah, I guess we did have cell phones by that point. Yeah, that's right. I'm just doing the math. I'm like, yeah, no, we've had the cell phone since, like, the 90s.
That reminds me of one of my friends, you know, like that... him and his brother and their next door neighbor were playing Smash Brothers. This was a long time ago. I mean, like this was the Smash Brothers Melee on the GameCube. and they were like, oh yeah, we're having fun, haha. And then at one point, like I forget what, I think they went outside like to pet the dog, and and then like the next door neighbor was like, haha, or I'm gonna run inside the house and lock you guys out.
Oh,
And they're like,
no.
like, you jerk, they're being guys, they're just like messing around with each other. And so like the other two playing along with the jokes, like, oh yeah, you locked us out, you jerk, but we can hop the fence and try to like like get back in through the back door, idiot. And as they're
Oh, no.
hopping the fence, the neighbors see them, so they call the police. And then like the police come and they start getting them out of the house. They put them in handcuffs. They're putting them in the back of the patrol car the entire time. They're like, I live here, I live here.
This is
It
my
had to
goddamn house.
be like, and their parents weren't home at the time, so it's just kind of like there's nobody there to verify. And so as they're screaming that they live here, it takes their next door neighbor lady to come out. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, these kids were breaking into this house. Like, they live there.
They can do whatever they want. They can break into the house. It's their house. It's theirs to break into.
Oh, that was funny, man. I was like, and he was telling me about it. He's like, man, they really like rough me up, man. Like whenever they slap the handcuffs on, they don't mess around. I had like a red welt on my hand from where they like closed the handcuffs on me. I was like, shoot. I was like, shouldn't have been breaking into houses.
To be fair, though, it's their house to break in. They can do whatever they want. They own it. I don't know.
Wait a minute. You can activate Red Reboot from your hand?
You didn't know that?
No.
That's why it's limited to one, because
It's too OP.
back in 2018, when Altergeist was like an actual, like, somewhat good competitive deck, everyone would put 3 Red Reboot in their side deck so they could just be like, stop playing trap cards.
What? This is, I mean, like, it requires half your life points, but holy crap, that is amazing. That is a counter trap.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good card.
Huh. I was wondering why everybody was just like talking about like, hey, this card's amazing, and I was like, I mean, so it negates a trap. I mean, 7 Tools of the Bandit does that. I mean, what's the big deal? And the big deal is like, hey, it doesn't just negate it. You set it. And then they can set another one, sure, but they can't activate traps for the rest of the turn. And also, you could activate it from your hand, in chain to something else, breaking the chain completely because it's a counter trap.
That one person who voted Yu-Gi-Oh, they are getting stonks right now.
Yeah, boy.
It's almost like they have a swaying opinion on what we talk about.
That is incredible. Like, I had no idea this card was that good.
We haven't talked about how to make the best grilled cheese, though.
Well, I mean, you obviously get a nice piece of bread.
Mm-hmm.
You put some garlic in a pan. You melt that garlic down, and
Unless
you
you're
put the butter
Dareinger,
with the garlic.
then you can't, because you're allergic to garlic.
And, yeah, I'm not. No garlic for me, please. And then you put some herbs in there. And when I say herbs, you know what kind of herbs I'm talking about.
Sage.
Basil. And then you put your bread in that. You dip your bread, double side that, and you put your cheese on it, and you grill it. When you're thinking about cheese, you have to go with. You can't just go with one cheese. You have to go with multiple types of cheese. Get a flavor profile building up. Get some like mozzarella, some American, some provolone. Maybe sprinkle some Parmesan on top with some oregano.
By the way,
you have
you can't get
Italian
American
grilled
cheese
cheese.
here. We don't have American cheese. It's not a thing.
What the?
Only America has American cheese.
Okay, tell you what. After the stream, give me and Bard your address, and we
No.
will ship you American cheese.
Is it like
All
craft
the
slices?
unrefrigerated.
Is it craft slices?
Unre-
Are we just talking about craft slices?
Listen.
Listen,
What we're
listen,
talking
Linda.
about is not important.
Because we do have craft slices. They're just called processed cheese.
Well, the process is American.
Yes, definitely, because that shit is disgusting.
It
And
is.
you
Whoa.
don't need to refrigerate it, which is the scary part.
Wait, wait.
I'm waiting.
Wait.
Truth be told, when it comes to grilled cheese, it's always craft slices, so...
Wait.
But yes, we don't have any cheese here that's actually called American cheese. It's just cheese. We do a lot of cheddar, like marbled cheddar. That's my fave. Doesn't change the flavor of it. It's just got white cheddar and orange cheddar mixed together, which really is a dyed cheddar and a non-dyed cheddar. I'm not kidding you.
Wait.
Wait.
I like to insult Americans.
Something about no, I am so upset now.
That we don't have it, or that I found cheese slices
Wait.
disgusting?
Wait.
It's probably the whole American cheese is disgusting thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's the craft slices that are disgusting.
I mean, wait.
Yes.
I got no follow-up to that. Just wait.
Look, it's French here. We talk about French things, and cheese must be good. And sorry to tell you this, but Hey Raisin Narrative's in the chat. Hey, Hey Raisin.
Well,
You're sorry to
baguettes.
tell me that he's in the chat? I like him.
I don't know. You helped him steal a car earlier. It's not Hey Raisin. I don't care who it actually was, but it was Hey Raisin Narratives that you helped steal that car. Sorry.
It was a truck. Thank you.
Okay.
It was
look.
a school bus full of kids. Thank you.
Okay, to be fair, I call all vehicles cars. Cars is vehicles in my head, so just think of vehicle when I say car.
Cars is a Disney property.
We don't talk about that movie. It sucks.
Wait a minute. Mana Dragon Cernitron is the same thing as Lord of the Heavenly Prison, only dispels.
I don't know if you're just on Master Duel looking at cards, or if you're actually like just looking at cards online, or what.
I'm
No.
on YGO Pro Deck. I just realized that they have a staples section, and it's just full of stuff that's considered staples. And Mana Dragon Cernitron is one of them.
Harry, he helped a guy break into a truck who drove off with the truck. He's pretty sure the guy owned said truck, but we now have said it's you specifically, so you help Serafin. You stole a truck and Serafin helped you.
Remember, everyone in the chat, for all of your best Yu-Gi-Oh information, including deck profiles, you can visit YGOPRODECK.com.
Why are you putting advertisements in my stream? You also know this goes on my podcast, right? So people have the podcast.
We're not sponsored. We're not sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. It's just a really good site.
That would be amazing if just we got 42 a sponsorship from a
I know, right?
website.
I'm like, I got sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Here's Serafin to explain it. Thank you, Serafin. Let's get on to the video.
It's basically just a database. You type in what you're looking for, and hey, it shows it to you. Like, hey, I wanna play some. I wanna play a ritual deck with Hungry Burger as the boss monster. Bada bang, they got it. You know, you're like, hey, I'm curious. What does Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring do? Type it into the database. Bada bang, there she is.
I remember when other Silver stole Raven's car and cabbage.
There's a lot of thieves in this community, apparently.
Well, to be fair,
that's why we're in this
crime.
community.
Yes.
It's either this or prison.
Yeah, exactly, Dareinger. We've been through this. It's this or free or prison. Also, the reason I started my channel was because I was literally doing nothing else with my life, so I decided to start a channel. And this time it's stuck. This is my third channel I've ever created.
Oh, that was the whole conversation that we got off of a tangent from. Holy crap. How did we go from why did we start our channel to Serafin stealing cars?
Welcome back, everybody, to the original train of thought. We had to take 3 trains to get here, but here we are.
4. There was a 4th one. It was a really small train. But... I thought I would have to answer it at some point here, so I thought I'd interject it before we talked about more Yu-Gi-Oh! That I don't understand.
What's not to understand? The things that the cards do are written on the cards.
I don't even know
What's
how
not
to
to
play it
understand?
anymore. Like, it
Timing.
is completely a different game than when I played it. I have a better grasp on Magic the Gathering.
Well, see, that's something that's actually interesting to me because for the longest time, Magic was like marketed as one of the more difficult. Well, it wasn't marketed, but it was like
It was understood.
It was,
like, this isn't a kid's game, right?
yeah, it was like this isn't a kid's game. This is a more difficult game to learn, and it's like
And now Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the
now
more
after
difficult
years, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh is miserable to try to teach to somebody.
Here's the fun thing. I went to a locals that doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh, right? And I went there to play some Yu-Gi-Oh with Helix and Mordor because at the time, you know, it was getting like to be like around 7 o'clock, and my wife goes to work at like 3 in the morning, so she needed to go to sleep. But I was like, hey, there's a card shop nearby. They only play Magic, but you know, they have open tables. I bet you if we buy something, they're not going to tell us to get out. So that's where we went. We went there, we grabbed a table, we started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And all of the Magic players was like, I can't with Yu-Gi-Oh, man. That game is so complicated. That game is so complicated. I'm like, you're a Magic player.
And see, that's the thing is like that whole thought process of Magic's really difficult to play is still there, and the minds
It's
of all
not.
Yu-Gi-Oh players, and it's just like, well, do you guys have fusion summoning? Do you have synchro summoning? Do you have linear equation cannon?
The original
would like for you to-
Yu-Gi-Oh! Was super duper easy. The new Yu-Gi-Oh! The Yu-Gi-Oh! Abomination that you guys play is overly complicated, and I just like, no, I'll play Magic, where I play my land. It's your turn. I play my other land. It's your turn. I play this land.
you say that, but I mean, like, it gets to a point where everybody has, like, you know, for example, especially if you're playing Commander, we get to a point where everybody has, like, 16 lands. They have, like, 4 different instants that they're trying to activate at the same time in response to a sorcery that got activated just a second ago. In the meantime, you're also trying to resolve, like, how many permanents you have on field and what counts as what, and, you know, like, one...
Serafin? Serafin?
One passive
Serafin?
enchantment is transforming
Serafin?
everything into everything else.
I don't
no,
play in tournaments. I play against my husband. We don't
this
get
isn't
to call.
a tournament. This
This-
is Commander. This is tabletop
We
Commander.
don't
man.
play Commander very often. We tried it like a couple times. I play land. I play other land. I counter that with this land. I hold this in my hand. It is a land, but I don't want you to know that I have a land. I want you to think I have a counter in my hand. This is how I play it. There's a reason I don't play card games. I'm horrible at them, but at least I understand Magic. And I know Magic gets complicated, but that's with people who actually have skills with the game.
So wait, 42's got a deck and it's all lands. Like, it is 60 lands.
Playing Cherix, the like movable island or whatever it's called, the giant crab leviathan.
Oh,
It just
yes.
says for every you can pay 3, then tap. Cherix gains like +1, -1 for every land you have.
Look.
It's a 0-17.
I used to play Needle Spires in like my red-white deck, and Needle Spires can be treated as a creature if you do something. I forget what it was. You either pay life or you tap another land. Yeah.
I play black-white.
Yeah.
I
I
like
play
vampires.
smokestacks.
I like vampires.
You and
The
your
same way
smokestacks.
42, I switched to Magic too. Yu-Gi-Oh got too much for me. I only played Yu-Gi-Oh back when it was like fairly new. You know, you play this monster, then you sacrifice this monster so you can place this monster. That's as much as I remember about Yu-Gi-Oh. It's
But,
not like that
people
anymore.
still like.
It's basically the same thing.
No, it's really not. I've watched you guys play. It's like you guys are speaking French to me. I somewhat get it, but just
You're Canadian.
like-
Shouldn't you speak French?
no, we don't. We learn French, but you only have to learn it to a certain degree. And I'm also dyslexic, so I barely learned English. And now you want me to learn French? Are you seeing the problem here? Look, I wasn't raised learning one language and then had to move countries and learn another language when I was young, because that actually is easier. Learning languages when you're young is easier, but I'm dyslexic, so it was always going to be hard for me to learn English.
That's why you gotta learn Yu-Gi-Oh.
This is why Serafin can learn it so well. He knows Spanish, so he's already like way ahead of everyone. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh! We all know.
I don't know
Yu-Gi-Oh!
that helps a lot.
It does, because you can get your head around foreign things and change your mindset, and also speak with an accent when you want to. Stop only fully 242.
We shall continue to bully 42 for as long as the stream persists.
She invited us to the stream to bully her specifically. She said, "Hey, don't pull your punches.
That's not
Go
what I
as hard as."
That's not even close to what I said.
It is exactly what she said.
No. But you know what? Everyone's right about the nerd stuff. We always talk about nerdy things when you guys are on. Especially when Stephanie
That's true.
is on.
That's true.
We're nerds.
I watched the new Batman movie yesterday.
Oh, you watched Batman? I think it's
That
actually
was a
called The Batman.
long movie.
Is it? Is it like 3 hours long?
What's it?
It was 3.5 hours long. Yes, that was a long movie.
Holy that is a
I was
very
gonna say,
long
was
movie.
it long because it was bad, or was it long because it was like actually long?
Well, it was long because it was actually long. There was a lot going on in that movie. There was like several different plots, you
Oh,
know,
wow.
and mind you, none of them were handled badly. They were all handled very well.
I'm
So
surprised.
it's not a bad movie. And it's also not The Dark Knight, because you remember that The Dark Knight was really weird because it got to a climax and then it kept going and then it got to a second climax.
Yes.
This was kind of a weird movie in that it's less it's less Batman punches people and it's more Batman is a detective. And
is very
so
supposed to be.
it's kind of there's so much mystery in the movie. There's like a lot of setup for a lot of things that are going on, and you don't have all the answers. And you're figuring it out at roughly at around the same time that he does. And there's kind of like like at the end, whenever everything kind of starts resolving, you're kind of like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And you're like, all right, so yeah, case closed, right? And then big twist, and it's like, nope, there was another one, and he wasn't quick enough to figure it out, so now there's consequences. And I was like, interesting. And so yeah, like there's kind of like this whole thing where like it's just imagine if Joker had been successful in The Dark Knight, kind of that.
Oof.
You know, so it was kind of like, oh, Gotham is just in trouble now,
It's Gotham.
and
Which is
yeah,
supposed
so
to be like New Jersey, isn't it? Is it Gotham like New Jersey?
I always thought it was New York.
Detroit.
No. Where Superman is New York.
I thought where Superman was Illinois.
No. Hold on.
Gotham's just Detroit, Michigan. Gary, Indiana. That's where Gotham is. Gary, Indiana.
Or was
That
it
would be
Chicago?
Amazing.
No,
Yeah,
Gotham.
I thought it was Chicago.
New York is Gotham is New York. Okay.
Yeah, because what do you call it?
Metropolis
In
is Chicago.
yeah, Metropolis is Chicago. But yeah, so anyway, like there's just kind of like this thing where Batman wasn't quick enough to figure out one of the mysteries, so like Gotham takes some pretty heavy damage as a result. I'm not talking about Man of Steel levels of heavy damage, but it's like a very real, very grounded, like this could literally happen to a city, and it happened. And I'm like, oh wow, wow, really, really good. I'm like, it's a very grounded, very it's a slow burn of a movie. Like, like you're not gonna be bored, but it does take a long time to kind of like get to where it's going. Along the way, you will be entertained, but like whenever it's over, you're like, wow, that was 3.5 hours. Yes, very true. DC does have made up cities besides the real ones.
Well, they did it on purpose so they could do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, Marvel doesn't care. Marvel's like, New York, baby, Spider-Man, and the Fantastic Four, we all in New York. We're walking here.
Here's Metropolis. I couldn't spell it, so hold on.
Are you still trying to find out what Metropolis is?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Metropolis is Chicago.
I'm telling you, Gotham, Gary, Indiana makes sense. The 2 G's.
What's it called? I think Sparkly Vampire has redeemed himself by playing a really, really good Batman.
I think he was Superman. Metropolis is real. It's a small town, and no, it's something else.
I thought you were talking about me for a second, and then you said by playing a good Batman, and I was like, oh, he's talking about not me because of the whole vampire thing earlier.
Oh,
I
I
was like,
forgot
why am I
about the vampire
sparkly?
thing.
Why am I sparkly? So, Bird,
Yo.
you said you're coming to visit. You're coming
Yeah.
up here to visit sometime.
Yeah.
So, co-creators and original artists of Superman modeled Metropolis skyline after Toronto, where he was born and lived until he was 10. Since then, however, the look and feel of it has been greatly influenced by New York and Chicago. So, it's neither or.
Yeah.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
But
Yo.
when you come to visit,
Uh-huh.
would you be up to driving an additional 5 to 6 hours or whatever to go to Gary, Indiana for exploration?
What are we exploring?
Gary, Indiana.
Okay. Oh, like that sounds like fun.
It's I don't know if I should feel this, but I feel like a sense of pride that Indiana has made a top 5 list. It's top 5 worst cities in America, but top 5.
Maybe you don't want to go there, Bard. You
will definitely get stabbed,
yes,
or murdered, or mugged, or something.
Arrested.
In Gary?
Yeah. See, they have these 4-way stop things where you're supposed to stop at them. The police will not pull you over if you just drive through them, because even the police say, yeah, you should just kind of do like a rolling stop, but don't actually stop. Just keep going. Because
the city's that bad.
I live in Texas, guys. You are aware that we have a reputation for our road rage, right?
Yes, but you're not number 5 in the worst cities in the whole country.
Yeah, according to some magazine that we paid off. Okay.
Yeah, this isn't anything to do with road rage. This is to do with 90% of Gary is just apparently ruthless murderers or something.
Oh, okay. Well, you were talking about rolling stops, so that's why I gotta figure.
Yeah, you don't stop because people will come and pull you out of your car and carjack you.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's a very, which it's kind of sad.
Which is why
if you think
lock
about
your
it, because,
doors. You lock your doors, and then they can't open the door. You don't have your windows down, which is why I never have my windows down. My doors are always locked, and I drive a 98, so I have to manually lock those doors. And I'm paranoid.
But see, it's kind of sad because Gary was a lot like Detroit way back in the day, where it was a really big, popular steel city, where there was a bunch of very profitable businesses, and it wasn't a bad place to be. And then like all the steel industries just left, and people there. It's a city that's like stricken with poverty and crime now, and top 5 worst countries to live in and be in and go to in the whole country now. It's great. So it's settled. We'll go there when you come to visit.
Yeah, let's go.
We'll get some tacos.
Hell yeah.
I'm coming now. There's tacos mentioned.
They may be the best tacos we ever had, but we may also die eating them.
That's fine. I'm planning to die young anyways. I've also lived farther than I thought, so I'm doing good. Double redneck game. Look. Someone stole a package from outside my door yesterday, and I caught them on my video doorbell. I don't know who it was, and I'll never find out, unfortunately. Yeah, welcome to Texas Hair Raiser Narrative, where they steal your packages, and you'll never know why. And also, like, I've heard of packages getting stolen, and, like, seen things like, well, you know what I had ordered? Pads, and tampons, and toilet paper. Good luck enjoying that, guys. Hope you have a good one.
Just having to put in a police report. Hey, I had some stuff delivered to my house and some guy stole it. What did he steal? Definitely not a shipment of landmines. You probably actually need to...
It was air filters.
You need to find this. It was air filters. It wasn't landmines. It was air filters. But you need to find them and probably send a bomb squad.
Probably.
Local news. This just in. Local house
Blew up.
after multiple landmines set off. And you're just like, and the cops are going to be here in how long?
See, I wouldn't even file a police report. I'd be like, well, they stole it, whatever.
But I mean, I need those landmines.
You mean air filters?
Yeah, air filters.
Did you see the
So
guy
I can-
who did the glitter bomb thing?
Yeah, he does a lot of cool stuff like that. He had a collab with another dude who does a bunch of hacking stuff, and they sent a bunch of like people to call centers in India, and they made like these contraptions that once set off, they would release cockroaches into the building, and they did like the fart spray thing and a whole bunch of different little contraptions like that, and set them up in like a call center.
That's
One of the scam call centers.
scam
like
call
an
centers.
actual call center.
Yeah, I was like, please specify. Please tell me that wasn't a real call center. Okay, it was a scam call center. That's fair. Yeah. No, and
This is an interesting one.
But yeah, the glitter bomb one that he put on his like front porch that had like the iPhones that would record whenever it was open.
yes,
That was good.
yes, those were good. And they did a 2.0. I mean, he got tired of his packages being stolen. I get that. Like, I'm really lucky. I'm knocking on wood. I haven't had any of my packages stolen, and I get some stuff from Amazon here all the time. Because we have an Amazon distribution center right next to us. So I get everything literally either that day or the next day. So... And I live in a major city, so I'm very lucky.
I've had
Well-
packages stolen multiple times, and here's the funny thing. I get them back, and they're opened. And they always return them, right? Like the person, like my packages have been opened. I notice, and I'm like, this happens too frequently to be a coincidence. And every time they return it, it's because it's Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And I was like, well, you fool! If you knew how much this ghost rare was, you would have kept it. Stupid.
Also, don't find out. Give me back my card.
I think that they're like, oh, dude, this guy got a package. Let me steal it. And they open it as a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like, yeah, just like come give it back.
Worthless!
they just get angry after a while, and now they'll just like slightly crease all of your cards.
You expect them to know anything about cards then. If they're getting rid of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, if I rob someone, I'm not going to rob anyone. I will not steal packages. This is a disclaimer. I am saying this before anything happens. And I saw cards, like sports cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I'd be looking up to how much they were worth before I'd ever return them.
I know, right? No,
But
like,
I'm a nerd.
That's just lazy. I'm like, you guys like open it as like, it's probably for some kid, and I'm like, yeah, an adult kid.
Yes.
Well, see,
It's for
that's the thing
Serafin's
I don't understand.
inner kid.
Like people who would steal cards, like 42 said, you would probably have the thought process to look up how much they are before you're just like, this children's stuff. Like there's people here in town that will bring in cards to the card shop, and they're the kind of people that they may or may not
Have
use illegal substances.
They may or may not have
it's just like-
liberated these cards from somewhere.
But it's like they'll come in to sell these cards, and they're like, just give me whatever you can for them. I know these ones are expensive. I looked them up, and it's like, so the guy that like does the illegal drugs in his car, he has the common sense to look up the price of this stuff, and someone who's actually stealing it's like, it's just cardboard. I don't want no cardboard.
I mean, they brought back my my Ghost Rare Dark Magician, so they clearly didn't look up how much it was worth.
Do you have the Bandai Dark Magician?
How
That's the
how
one I want.
often are they stealing your cards? Like,
It's
or
happened at
packages?
least. It's happened at least twice that I've gotten back a package that was open.
And how many times have your packages been stolen?
More than 5 times actually, because like
Ouch.
I think that some of it is like somebody's just kind of like stealing, but I think that a lot of it is that our mail carrier is just no good and will often like not even look at apartment numbers before dropping something at the front door, you know?
It makes sense because that happens to us. We get letters and stuff from our neighbors, and they get our stuff every now and then.
Yeah.
It's just like I've lived in this place for like probably 5 years now,
Okay.
so I'm familiar with my neighbors, and it's like if I get something that says Mike on it, I know it's I know it's the guy next door. If I get someone that says like Loretta, it's the woman on the other side of me. So I would be sweating bullets if I got like mail from the police, because it's like
cards from kids like, thank you for being awesome police officers and stuff. I'm like,
I would be sweating bullets if I got that.
Thank you for being an awesome police officer. I was like, man, this kid. Am I a police officer? Do I not know? Am I not aware?
Just walk into the office the next day. Hey guys, what are you doing here? I keep getting messages telling me that I'm a police officer, so I thought I need to show up for work. And then you're just like put on the force. They just accept you. That's the only criteria they wanted was somebody to show up.
You showed
and
up.
be willing.
Way to go, kid.
You got the job.
you got the job.
This kid's got gumption. I don't know why my default voice whenever I'm voicing someone else is just like Danny DeVito from like a crime movie in the 80s.
Well, King had me do some lines for him for an upcoming video, and it was obvious by how they were written. I was supposed to try to do like a Canadian accent.
But
I kept like sliding all the way to Ireland, and it was like there's some like Brooklyn put in there, and I was like, I'm sorry, King. This is more difficult than what I thought it would be. Of course, King, being just the legend that he is, was like, nah, it's great. I love you.
Aye, boyo. What you doing over there staring at me like that? I don't know, like Scottish with like...
It's sad, but that's what it was. He's just like, oh God, I'm doing like horrible. Yeah, it's the Boston, England, Canadian. Mike is the guy that he was. I don't remember if it was like pork roast or what, but he was like smoking pork roast for a whole day, and then he came over and gave me like a bag of it, and that's where the like a good neighbor he gave me meat
Oh god.
came from on Raven's stream.
Was there anything going on in your guys' channel that you would like to talk about before we end the stream?
On the 26th of this month, on the Nevermore Collective, the Midnight Bard goes once again to fight to keep his title, to be the 5 times undefeated champion of the Nevermore Collective. Oh yeah!
I'm just gonna hope that I don't get fucking Buster locked again.
That's fair.
But also, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to find time to like work through this backlog of narrations. But you know, like I'm also freelancing as a voice actor now, so it's kind of like I got a day job and I got that going. So it's kind of like I'm trying. Please believe me, I'm trying.
You need
It's
to tell me
just-
where you're voice acting at and send me the link.
Okie doke. But it's just not. It's not easy.
Doing everything.
It's not easy being cheesy.
Which is why our cryptid thing had to die. Because neither one of us has the time for everything.
Whoa.
Unless you want to do all the research and the drawings.
Well, this is what I was gonna tell Dare earlier. Is like, hey, you before we got sidetracked into clapping Mothman cheeks. I was like, hey, Dare, you know what this sounds like? It sounds like you and me. We got an idea for a recurring episode of the Nevermore Nerds once in a while, where we do the research and then we bring on 242. We talk about a cryptid, yeah?
I'm fine with this.
We're getting the band back together.
I can
We getting the band back together.
I can make the thumbnails again and stuff too. I can do all that jazz. That doesn't take me that long. It's just the research was just
Hey,
too much for me.
she does jazz on top of it.
Do
Yay!
you like jazz?
I like
You
jazz.
like jazz?
I like jazz. Yeah, 5 times. He might be 5 times champion. We'll see though. He also might both
This is-
fight it.
I was gonna say this is the most I've won at anything literally ever.
And for my channel, tomorrow is going to be Glitches in the Matrix, but it's also a themed one, which is all disappearing and reappearing objects, which is otherwise called DOP, which is disappearing object phenomenon. So it's actually going to be kind of interesting. It's the first themed glitch one I've ever done, so there's that. It's also not a collab, it's just me, all by myself.
So
Hell yeah!
there will actually be no Nevermore Nerds tomorrow because Mr. Serafin, which I'm surprised he hasn't mentioned anything about it, or if he did, I wasn't listening because I don't really listen to him ever. He has a voice acting audition, and I said, well, we'll take the day off. That way you can rest and you get prepared for your audition, and hopefully it goes well, and we'll
Oh, right, I forgot it was a physical.
hug and make out afterwards.
Yeah, with
I-
both hands.
I don't want to rain on the positivity, but I think the audition's been canceled.
Oh no.
Yeah, like
We're
it
gonna
was-
pretend like that didn't happen. He didn't say that. Good luck, Serafin.
Thank you. I got notification yesterday. It's like, hey, we have some trouble with the. I swear, this is like my default, like other person voice. We got some problems with the project. We're gonna have to reschedule the audition. So, like
we'll walk in here.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch with you. Just don't forget about it.
Don't forget about it.
Okay.
Don't forget about it.
Well, then if it got rescheduled, it means guys can do it tomorrow then. If
Yeah. Yeah.
So keep
Oh.
your ear out. There might or might not be a nerds thing. The Nevermore's nerds
Yeah.
tomorrow. Hello, Sleepy Wendigo.
We'll discuss it. We'll discuss it.
We'll discuss.
And then I think either the 12th or the 19th, send-ins stuff to Serafin at Serafin's Twitter. Just pictures of things, and I'm supposed to name them.
Yeah, that's right.
That's one of the shows that Raven pitched. Also, I don't know if I think of a lot of things, and then I don't remember if I tell you the things or not. If you have like a thought of a show that you would want to see Serafin and I do,
Yeah, that's true. Because
tweet at us, Twitter at us.
literally all of our ideas usually come up for like, hey, you know what we should do? We should do this. It's like, hell yeah, and we just go with it.
I was watching a video yesterday, and we could do this. It would be cool. It'd be
if
fun.
we do the once a week or the once a month thing again with the cryptids, that takes care of one of the episodes for you guys.
Yeah. So I mean, like, basically just like ideas from you guys would like just like, not that we're under any pressure. I mean, we just do what we want.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have a plan.
Have an idea of where to go with things.
The whole concept of the show is just to basically be two friends hanging out and just doing stuff.
Yeah.
And like,
telling
also,
Smash or Pass on Yu-Gi-Oh things.
Yeah. And if someone wants to join in with us, if they've got an idea or if they want to join in,
you got like something
it's a
nerdy that you're
community
really into and would like to talk about, yeah.
just like tweet at us.
Yeah, tweet at us.
We can make a show out of that.
Sorry if the music went weird, guys. Pretzel crashed, which is my music program. So sorry if anything went weird there.
One last thing, if I may, because I just remembered that this is something that man, my computer is going slow.
He's going to propose to me.
Yeah, you know it. On a Friday, June 10th at 9 p.m. Central Time on the Nevermore Collective, if you would love to see me lose at Yu-Gi-Oh, we are doing a casual night duel where basically we're just gonna get together, we're gonna hang out, and the whole concept behind this video is we bring our project decks. These are things that we don't know if they're gonna work. We're putting them together, we're testing them out, or we're playing them for the first time. And these are usually the duels where I lose a lot because I don't know what I'm doing. And
Literally me sitting and telling you how to play Gokis.
That's true. Like, that's what happened last time. I'm like, I don't know where I went wrong, and Dare's all like, "Oh, you're playing Gokis. You were supposed to do this," and I was like, "Ah, there it is." So
let me help you beat me, and then you proceed to lose.
But like I got the idea because Gamma and Sky are always going like, it's weird because whenever we're playing casual, we beat you all the time. I was like, that's true. So I was like, you know what? Let's throw in a casual night stream where that's all we're doing is we're testing out new strategies, and you may or may not see me lose.
So you probably will.
Call it like Friday Night SmackDown or something.
Yeah, Friday Night SmackDown, Monday Night Raw, which I never liked the way that sounded.
No, that sounds bad. All right. Well,
Tuesday Night ECW.
Thank you, Dareinger and Serafin, the Midnight Bard, for joining me today. Thank you, everyone.
It was a pleasure.
It was an absolute pleasure to be here.
That you didn't have to get called for at all.
No, I didn't need to be.
No. Thank you, Felix, for calling a friend, as always.
I'm Serafin, the Midnight Bard. We've had a lot of fun here today, but now I want to talk about something really serious. Don't help people break into trucks if you don't know that they own them.
This message has been sponsored to you by the Nevermore Nerds.
The 242 reads, because I completely agree with this. Yes, don't help someone break into a vehicle unless you know 100% that is their vehicle. That's how you end at a bad time. Thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you have a good evening or a good day. Bye guys.
Bye.